Have you heard California's got a problem with illegal marijuana? Which is amazing since they're the first state to legalize marijuana. In 1996, they legalized medical marijuana. Recreational marijuana was legalized in 2016. So maybe you're scratching your head saying, wait a minute, if it's legal, how can there be such a problem with illegal pot? If you've been listening to me very long, you should know the answer to that question before one more second is spent on this podcast. But I know that every time I watch elections take place, I see people voting for more government spending, more government programs, giving more power to government bureaucracies, which tells me you probably don't know the answer to this question if you're one of those. So let me answer it for you. Now, California legalized marijuana. So there's people out there who are growing it, who are producing it, who are selling it as a business, getting the business license, doing it totally legal. But here's the kicker. Today, California has more illegal marijuana than they've ever had in their history. And this is after they legalized the stuff. Why? Because they did what government does. When you put government in charge of something, they're going to tax it and they're going to regulate it. And they've gone off the charts with the marijuana industry in California. So you have an entire black market that has risen up. And it's a greater problem than it ever was when all of marijuana was illegal. You see, when you have a government bureaucratic management, or as I refer to it, the GBM, they are all about the money and the power. And the cool thing about bureaucrats is they are unelected, they are unaccountable, and so anything they do doesn't have to work. You know, it just has to bring more power, more money to them. And man, this has done it in California. So the reason for this is obvious. If you're a legal business selling marijuana, you have to charge such high prices to cover the taxes and regulations. A lot of environmental stuff too, as you could imagine, in California. So the price of the pot goes so far up that the people who want pot just go to the black market. And so you've created an even bigger problem than you had before. And here's the funny thing. So the answer to this would be obvious. You would reduce the taxes, reduce regulations to make it so these guys could make a profit and compete with the black market, maybe even wipe out the black market. Nope. Bureaucrats are never going to reduce, ever. So they're actually expanding more bureaucracy. They're going to have the war on drugs, which they've always had. We've all had since the 80s, a total waste of money and time. But they're going to expand the war on drugs. They say, though, it's going to be done in a progressive way. Okay, thank you very much. But the bottom line is going to be more taxes, more regulations. And so bureaucracy will be perpetuating itself once again, which is what government always does. Why do you keep voting for this stuff, folks? Just incredible. Hey, side note, I'm for the legalization of drugs. Have been. I used to be a counselor to drug and alcohol addicts. And here's what I learned doing that. The problem is not taxes and regulations on this stuff. The problem is that humans desire to get high. As long as that is there, it doesn't matter what you do with government. Government is ineffective and a waste of time. Can't believe I said that. Would you keep this in mind when you go vote in the midterms?